Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am showing you how to get this halo smoky eye using rose gold tones and purple shadow. You can wear this look pretty much anywhere. It's pretty wearable. You could switch out the colors for whatever you like. And if you do like this video, can you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel? First up, I'm going to use my new Trilogy Hydrating Mist Toner, which is a rose scented facial spray which will help prep the skin for foundation. Then I'm using my Stila One Step Correct as an additional primer, which has got those green tones in it to help reduce any redness and make sure that my foundation goes on smoothly. Then I'm grabbing my NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and this is one of my favourite foundations. It's so pigmented, yet it's not thick in consistency, so you can create a really nice base without feeling like you're overloading the skin. Once you've got that on, then I am taking my Maybelline FitMe concealer, and this is a new favourite of mine. The consistency is quite thin but really pigmented and blends out really well. It's almost got a dewy finish to the concealer. So I'm just putting that in the T-zone and under my eyes in a triangle formation and blending it out with the same brush. For a little bit of extra coverage just in the corners of my eyes, I'm taking my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Custard and just popping that right in there, and then also down my nose and cupid's bow and on my chin. And just using the same brush, I'm just dabbing it in and just making sure that I'm not spreading it out. I just want to get additional coverage in those areas. To bronze up my face, I'm using my Soleil Tan de Chanel bronzer, which is a cream bronzer. I haven't actually used this product for a while, but I've started using it again last week and just loving it. It just is so natural and just gives you a bit of a bronze glow. Cue my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I use this to contour and highlight, so I'm just grabbing those two shades and popping them on a tapered brush and just popping them under my eyes. So I like to pat the product in as that gives more coverage. Then I'm grabbing my Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation powder, and I'm just using a big brush to kind of lightly dust this over the other areas of my face where I haven't put that highlighting powder, and this will just set my foundation. Taking my Smashbox Bronze Lights bronzing powder in Warm Matte and that big brush, I'm just going to dust that on the areas where my face would naturally be warm from the sun, and then just bringing it down my neck just to make sure it's all blended in. Going back into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, I'm grabbing that middle tone to contour and using a round top contour brush, just going under my cheekbones, down the sides of my nose, under the lip a little bit, just to add some shadow and dimension to my face and make it appear a little bit slimmer. Next up, using my Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop, which is the highlighter that they did with Jaclyn Hill, and popping that on the high points of my face, so on my cheekbones, down the centre of my nose, a little bit on my temples and on my cupid's bow, just to give me a little bit more glow. As you can see there, I was just admiring the highlighter, it's so beautiful. This is my Givency Le Prism blush, and I think it's in the shade 01 Peach, and it's just a really nice peachy orangey colour, if you can say that without it being too orange, but it's just beautiful and it just gave me the nice flusher that I was looking for. So I usually apply this after the highlighter so that the highlighter doesn't cut through the blush. Then just take a big fluffy brush and just blend it all out to make sure that there's no harsh lines. Taking my Benefit Cosmetics Air Patrol BB eye primer, and I used this in my last video. It's a primer that has an SPF in it, and it just takes out any of the redness that's in your eyes and just prepares the eyes for some shadow. Then I'm taking Nude Matte from Black Cosmetics and popping that all over my eyes using a bigger brush just to set that primer and make sure that the next shadows we put down will blend nicely. Just running a spoolie through my brows to make sure all the hairs are up and in the right direction, and then I'm taking my Coquette shadow from MAC and a angled brow brush from Sigma and just popping that through my brows. This is just what I like to do, and I want them to look a little bit more natural. Popping the powder through my brows, especially in the tail end where they do sort of taper off a wee bit and there's not as much hair there, and then just flick the brush through the front of the brows and just to make sure the hairs are all staying up. Once I've done that, I just take a little bit of my concealer on a flat brush, synthetic brush, and just use the very tip of it to sort of just line underneath the very start of my brows, and just to make sure that they look tidy. Then I use my brow sculpting gel from Ardel, and this is just a transparent gel. And I just use this to brush my brows in place, and this will set them and make sure that they don't fall down during the day. Next up, from my custom MAC palette, I'm taking Soft Brown, which is a great transitional shade. It's slightly warm and not too dark, and popping that with a large fluffy blending brush from Sigma all throughout the crease to prepare for future shadows. Then I'm taking my Bobbi Brown Telluride palette and this warm brown here, and just basically doing the same thing just to deepen up the crease and make sure it's all blended out using that same fluffy blending brush. From the same Bobbi Brown palette, I'm picking up this cooler toned light brown and using a small tapered blending brush from Sigma, and I'm just popping that in the outer and inner corners of my eye. So this is also acting as another transitional shade, preparing for the shadows I'm about to put down, but because it is slightly cooler, it's just going to help with the transition of the next shade, which is MAC Sketch, which is a more of a matte purple shade, and using a pencil brush I'm popping that in the same areas I've just laid down the last shadow, but packing it in smaller motions and more densely so that the colour payoff is better. And then once I've laid down that colour, I'm taking that small tapered blending brush and just buffing it out so it's not harsh, and then just go back in with the pencil brush and lay down more colour. And you just want to keep doing this until you have the desired opacity of the colour that you're laying down. And I apologise about the lighting here, my battery died and I had to swap it over, and by the time I got back the lighting had changed, so hopefully it will get better in a second. But basically I'm just doing the same thing on that eye that I did with the other eye. Next up, I'm taking my ColourPop shadow. This is a cream, sort of like a cream consistency shadow in the colour Amaze, and I'm just using my finger to apply it right in the centre of the lid where I've left the space from the previous shadows. And these do apply best with your fingers or a synthetic sort of kabuki style eye brush, but I find it's just best for me just to lay it down with my finger and you get the best colour payoff. They have a huge range of shadows at ColourPop, different colours, and the consistency is that kind of cross between a cream and a powder, so you should definitely check them out. Once I've laid down that colour, I'm just adding more colour of the sketch shadow with my pencil brush and then buffing it out again with the small tapered blending brush. Once that's done, I'm going to take my MAC pressed pigment in the colour Pink Pepper, which is a rose gold, and just with my finger again, I'm just going over top of where I put that ColourPop shadow. Just as the ColourPop shadow is sort of creamy, it does act as a sticky base for the pressed pigment. And then taking that same Bobbi Brown palette again, just taking that middle sparkly shade, which is just like a glitter really, and I'm just dabbing that on top of the shadow just for a bit of extra sparkle. Using the Bobbi Brown palette again, I'm basically just going to repeat all of the steps that I've done on the upper lid on the lower lid. So just using the warmer brown shade, the cooler brown shade, and then MAC Sketch below as well, and just buffing that out with my fluffy blending brush, but still leaving the space in the middle of below the eyelid. And then I'm using Amaze again just to pop that in the center of the lid, and we'll go over that again with the MAC pressed pigment in Pink Pepper. just going to apply my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara and Waterproof and curl my eyelashes off camera. Once I've done that, I'm going to apply my Mink DODO Lashes. These are cruelty free and they only cost $5 US. They're pretty amazing. And this is the style 207, D207, and they're a beautiful lash. You can use these up to 25 times, and I've got a discount code below if you are interested in looking at them. Just applying some MAC Melba Blush just to add on. I didn't think my cheeks were rosy enough, and then using my Mary Kay lip liner in the colour Neutral, I'm just outlining my lips, not overdrawing them or anything. I'm just outlining my natural lips, not really into overdrawing anymore. I just kind of want to go with what I've got. And then I'm going to use my Kaylin Extreme Matte Tint, which is a liquid lipstick. The consistency of these is super fine but really pigmented, and I'm just applying that with a lip brush, and these stay on for hours. They don't move and they are beautiful, so check out those as well. And just to finish, I'm using the same Trilogy Hydrating Mist Toner to set my foundation, melt the powders, and give me a dewy finish. It's a completed look. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Leave me some comments of what you'd like to see next. If you'd like to see daytime, nighttime, or contouring or foundation videos, let me know. And I've got some cool tag videos coming up for you too, so that'll be a little bit more fun. Thanks again. Bye.